Alrighty guys, this is part 1 of 3 of me building my Ryobi table saw and router table workbench. This is something that I need in my garage and I'm super excited to start it and of course get it finished. So I didn't show you guys me cutting these boards because that's really boring. But what I did was I ripped these 2x4s down to the standard 1.5 thickness by 3 inches instead of 3.5. And I ripped them down to 3 inches because I want to have a perfectly square base for my router table and table saw. I am showing you guys here that I am drilling 4 pocket holes into each of these supports because I want to make sure that this thing is as sturdy as possible because there is going to be a little bit of weight on it. It'll be a little bit heavy, so I want to make sure that this base is as strong as possible. Also in the future, I want to make this base to where if I want to change something on my workbench, I can do that. I can keep the base and add another shelf or add another box to it or make it bigger. That's kind of my plan right now. And I'll also throw some casters on the bottom of this base so that I can roll it around. But I haven't decided if I want 4 wheels on the base or just 2 on one side and 2 supports on the other. What I'm doing here is I did clamp the 2 boards together because when I'm screwing them in, the boards like to move with the pocket screws. But you can see the complete frame for the base here. Super easy to put together, and it probably only took about 30 minutes with cutting and ripping the boards down to 3 inches. Next, what I needed to do was grab a sheet of MDF and cut the top for the base. And I'm just using MDF because it's super level, it's super easy to cut, and I'll be able to make it look good in the end. I haven't decided if I'm going to paint it or layer it with some sort of material. But you can see here I almost screwed up, guys, because I started cutting the MDF without a guide. So what I decided to do was just to grab a piece of engineered hardwood because they come extremely straight from the factory and use that as my guide. Just so I make sure that I have a completely straight and square cut that I am doing. And you guys can also see that I am making sure that I angle and position this MDF board so that when I finish cutting, it's not falling off of the table saw or the back of my truck. So that's really important. Make sure that you have a sturdy surface to work on, and when you're finished cutting, that you the boards don't fall on the ground because you'll just damage them at that point. So the next step in the process was to just lay the board on top of the frame, and I wasn't worried about the frame being square when I put it together because the MDF top here, I'll be able to align the frame with it and kind of tweak it a little bit to make sure that the frame is square to the base top. Next, what I did was I drilled some guide holes for the screws that I'm putting in, and then I countersunk each of the screws so that they were slightly countersunk, probably about a 32nd of an inch. And then what I did was I measured a couple lengths across the board and just secured the top down to the frame. I'll have another video showing you guys how I put together the boxes for the workbench itself. But until then, you guys rate, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.